Well, well, what do we have here? Nature Calls? It's in the back.
Devil May Cry, a game that I've played countless times, and the first game I finished on my main channel. Devil May Cry was created by Capcom in 2001, and for these reviews, we're going to focus on the graphics, the music, the gameplay, the story, and the replayability factor. Get into it. Okay, being a game that came out in 2001, it has really good graphics. The design for not only Dante, but the enemies, they're super cool. Also, the design for the weapons. I mean, who cannot look at this sword and say, I want one? Because I want one. Can you give me one, please? No. Okay. On top of that, every location you go to has its own design that fits really well with the concept of the game. Like, there's this castle, there's underground, there's the underwater portions, there's that ship that's abandoned, there's a freaking flying dragon. That's wrong, it's a flying flaming bird because I'm not smart. Just look at this, and maybe this. I don't know. I'll put something there. Editing is a funny tool. Especially look at this. That's a face you never want to see in the dark, or the light, or ever, because it's not something you want to see. Okay, now let's just get more focused on the graphics. The design of Dante is super cool. It fits his personality and his edginess. So yeah, he has different forms when he goes in Devil Trigger. They're all cool. You have this one, and this one's my favorite because fire. Love it. All these look extremely cool. So for this case, the graphics are definitely a pass. Okay, I put a main focus on music for games because I'm a music person. And this game likes to provide music that will give that eerie feeling. I mean, just listen to this little part. Yeah, that's from the in-between missions. Because exactly what you want to hear in between missions is something that's like, you're going to probably die quickly and horribly. I just would not want to deal with that. And on top of that, when you have time missions, a song like this will play. And it really makes you want to rush through everything and just not die. Because you don't know what's going to happen. You could like die, or worse, just have your game get corrupted and everything catches on fire and you lose your health and everything just goes wrong. The world gets sucked into a black hole and like magic splurts out of every tree and yeah. There's the battle music. This music literally just makes me want to fight. I mean, feel like invincible. Like you could not listen to this music. Like you could be surrounded by anybody. You could not be like, oh no, I'm gonna lose because I suck. And you hear this music, oh my god, it's blow through all the enemies, just take an edge over. Yeah, something like that. Because this is smart. The focus of the music with the areas when that is being played are really good, and on top of that, the sound effects for the guns work really well for each of them, and the swinging, I mean, it's a little cliche, but for 2001, it's about normal. So, it forms the atmosphere, and because of that, it is a pass for music as well. Okay, so far, Devil May Cry seems to be passing. But this is where I start to have problems. The gameplay, I mean, the controls just seem floaty, especially with the jumps. Like, I had a problem with how most of the game to get the jumps correctly, especially with the double jumps, because like you had to be spot on, and it caused me to fail at this jump so many times.
No, stop that. Stop playing death levels. Go back up here. You need to actually make this freaking jump. Or not. We'll fail again.
Yeah, rage-inducing. And like, the battle system is not that bad when I first started playing, but once you got later in the game and you stopped getting new weapons, I literally was just spamming the same moves over and over again, and it basically got kind of boring with that, so it didn't help. I mean, it's fixed in the later games, it makes it better in the later games, but for this one, it's just not that good to have that battle system that's just really cliche and not really cliche, but really boring, and just doing the same thing over and over again. So, gameplay is, it's a fail. Get a fail for this one. Okay, now with one fail and some belts, we finally get the main reason I play games, for the story. So we start off with Dante in this business place, that place right there that you just saw on the screen, and he gets attacked by this girl monster thing named Trish. And after the nicest meeting ever, I mean, they sit down, they have tea, they're really nice to each other, and nothing violent happens whatsoever. We're now on our journey. So, we have to solve puzzles throughout this castle place, and then we have to fight these monsters, starting out with puppets, then we fight these bosses like him, and him, and him, and then him over and over and over again. So during this, we find out who Trish really is, or find out what and who Trish really is, because that makes more sense. And that we are fighting the battle that Dante's father fought thousands of years ago. With the addition of new weapons and abilities, we face off against him again. And then we finally get the other half of the necklace that Dante's mother gave to him. And we get the sword of Sparta, his father's sword, and we fight a giant statue, then we see this face, then we win, and the world does not die. Pretty simple, right? And yeah, that's the best way I could put it without putting spoilers in there, so there you go. The story is actually really good, and you're not given too much at any point, or not enough. I mean, sometimes it's not enough, but I mean, it's a puzzle, so it makes sense. So for story, it gets a pass. Now for replay value. The last thing I look up before the final verdict. I said so at the beginning of this game, I've played it many times, but why have I played it? I mean, I said the gameplay was really lacking, but I mean, it's the music and the design of the graphics and the story. I mean, the story's not super big, but it's not super lacking. It's decent. So I'll play this game over and over again just to get the feeling of the fighting the first few times and the story, and most of the time just listening to the music. I will spend there listening to music. So it gets a pass there. So for the final verdict, Devil May Cry gets a pass. This is a game that if you haven't played it, you really should. I mean, the gameplay is not that good, but for 2001 it wasn't horrible. It's just not something I really enjoyed with floatiness and the jumps. And every other aspect makes up for these downfalls that the gameplay has. So yeah, it's good. I seriously enjoy it, and I'd recommend it to anyone who wants to play it. Oh, first review done. Thumbs up. Tell me guys what you thought about it in the description below. I appreciate all the feedback that I can get, and if you guys want to suggest any games for me to review, tell me in the comments below. I'll try to do what I can because money's tight and college is horrible. For money. That's what I wanted to get at there. But I'll try my best to do them, and if you guys want to see any of the gameplay on my main channel, you guys can check out this series that I played. It was before I got any mics or anything, so it's really bad with audio quality, but if you guys want to see my playthrough of it, it's there. It's also going to be in the description below, and I hope you guys enjoy it anyway. But if you like and subscribe to my family, see you guys in the next video. Bye.